What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Saturday, May 31st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and the Eastern Conference Finals game between the Pacers and Knicks. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Friday is looking a little bit rough, guys. Not the start that we wanted. A little bit unfortunate there in the Angels-Cleveland Guardians game. That over 8 did not hit. It was a 5-1 game despite 19 total hits and an error. So a little bit of a bad beat there. Not a great look there in the Detroit-Kansas City under 8. Both pitchers, terrible. Just a terrible day for the pitchers in general in that entire game. It's going way, way over. We had Houston at -165. That was a solid win. A 2-1 win there in a pitcher's duel. We'll take that one. We got the Yankees -135. They're at least currently leading. We had the Marlins at +150 as our dog of the day. A close game, but ends up being a 2-0 loss. They just couldn't really get the bats going in that game. We have the Padres still at -195 as our massive lock of the day. And obviously, betting on the Padres these days isn't super fun, but at least they are up 3-2 in the middle of the 7th inning. So hopefully they can come through on that one. So let's go ahead and hop in. We've got a full slate of Saturday games here to break down. And first up, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Reds come into this game fresh off a nice 6-2 win there to open our Friday slate. And if you hopped on that one, it was almost our dog of the day, and the Reds do come away with the 6-2 win. So let me know down there in the comments if you did hop on this one, because that would make me feel a lot better about how Friday has gone. But the Reds obviously coming to this one playing pretty well. Winners of 3 out of their last 4, handing the ball here to Nick Lodolo, who's 4-4 this season, a 3.39 ERA. His last start was against the Cubs, and he was serviceable, not necessarily dominant. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. So not the end of the world. The Cubs did eventually end up winning that game 11-8, so loss for the Reds, but Lodolo at least kept them attached. The Reds bullpen's been a problem here down the stretch, a 4.10 bullpen ERA, not nearly as good as what we were seeing in the early goings. The offense, though, has come alive. They scored 6, 2, 7, 7, and 8 runs over their last few games. We loved what we've seen recently, just kind of across the board, if I'm being honest. They're 9th in the majors in runs scored, 12th in slugging percentage. Like, this team is actually hitting the ball. So we'll see if they can keep that going here against the Cubs, who come into this game fresh off of that loss. That loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. They're hitting the ball here to Drew Pomeranz, who's normally been a bullpen guy this season. Oh yeah, it's looking like a full bullpen start here for the Cubs. So looks like that's going to be the situation. Now, Pomeranz has been amazing recently, but the Cubs bullpen over the course of the year has been middle of the road. It's been improving down to a 3.77 bullpen ERA. So I'm not going to say it's disaster time, but I am a little bit concerned about what we're likely to get from that bullpen. So we'll see what happens for the Cubs in a bullpen start. We'll see what happens with their offense, which has been one of the best offenses in the majors this year. They're first in the MLB in runs scored, third in batting average, fourth in on base percentage. They just haven't been swinging the hottest bats recently, though. 2, 2, 4, 3, and 8 runs over their last few games. So we'll see if they get back on track here. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers certainly seem to think so. The Reds are +138. The Cubs are -164. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. Cincinnati is 14-15 on the road, 16-12-1 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 18-8 at home, 14-10-3 to the over at home. Guys, this is another spot I'm going to be looking at the Reds at +138. Not as big of a number as yesterday, but I definitely think they're live in this game. Lodolo's been pretty decent, maybe not elite, but I would say decent. And the bullpen for the Cubs hasn't been anything special, so them having to soak up an entire game here feels like a big ask. I would also lean a little bit towards the over in this one too. Next up, guys, we got the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The White Sox lost game 1 of this series 2-1. A pretty close game there, but the White Sox, coming out on the wrong end doesn't seem too crazy. They're handing the ball in this game to Davis Martin. He's 2-5 on the year, a 3.45 ERA. His last start was against the Rangers, and he was pretty solid. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his last 3 starts. So not too shabby there. We'll see what he can do against Baltimore. Not a team he's faced this year, but Davis Martin not throwing the ball terrible at the moment. The bullpen for the White Sox obviously still very much a work in progress. A 4.51 bullpen ERA is not good. The bullpen or the offense for the White Sox has been pretty atrocious. They've had their moments this year, don't get me wrong, but 26th in the majors in runs scored, 28th in batting average. It's better than it was a season ago, but still not great. We'll see what they can get up to here against the Orioles, who have won, I guess, 4 out of their last 6 now. now if we're, searching for positives, they've been probably the biggest disappointment in the majors this year. They're handing the ball here to Dean Kremer, who's 4-5 on the season, a 5.02 ERA. His last time out, probably his best start, or no, not his best start, but one of his best starts of the season. 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, no runs allowed there, and a 5-1 win at Fenway. So we'll see what he can do here against the White Sox. I'm not necessarily expecting miracles from a guy that I just generally don't regard as an elite level pitcher, but we'll see what he can do here. I think he could struggle, and if he doesn't, that Baltimore bullpen could definitely struggle. A 5.37 bullpen ERA. That's pretty bad, guys. That's not headed in the right direction anytime soon. The offense clearly not getting much better, only scoring 2 runs in game 1 of this series. They're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They are 25th in on-base percentage as well, so just not a lot of positives here for Baltimore. So looking at the numbers, I'm not shocked to see, well, I guess I am a little bit shocked if I'm being like 100% truthful. The White Sox are plus 162. The Orioles are minus 190. We've got a total of 9 out there. The White Sox are 6-23 on the road, 16-12-1 to the under on the road. Baltimore is 9-17 at home, 16-8-2 to the over at home. That's actually an MLB best to the over. I'm not interested in the total in this game, but I think we got to side with the White Sox here. I think they've got a very real chance to win this game. Plus 162 is a pretty good price. Dean Kremer, not somebody I'm usually excited to be backing at really any point in time. So definitely give me the White Sox here at plus 162. And while it probably won't be our dog of the day, it's at least going on the list. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row and has been off on just on a crazy heater right now, guys. A crazy heater. The last 3 days, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, our premium capper went a combined 10-2 on MLB. I think there might be one hockey pick mixed in there as well. Currently on this Friday slate, he's off to a 1-0 start. We'll see if that can continue, but it's been pretty wild. I'm going to throw up the ones that I have written down on the screen, but it has been pretty nuts. He's been off to a crazy start. So definitely consider going over to StumpTheSpread.com, signing up for that premium package. Also, just get over there and check out all the free stuff we offer at StumpTheSpread.com. We got a free bet size calculator, and maybe more importantly than that, depending on how you look at it, we have exclusive free picks that are posted over there every single day. You can also get on our free email list. All we need is your name and your email address, and you can get on that list. That's how you set up a free account, and there'll be free picks straight to your inbox every single day. There's also like all kinds of niche betting information included in there. UFC stuff in there all the time. There'll probably be a UFC parlay mixed in there. I would be shocked. Our UFC guys usually throws a parlay in there, and just lots and lots of good information every single day. So definitely get over there and check that out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member here on June 7th. We'll be doing another giveaway on June 20th or something like that, and maybe even another giveaway, maybe a third giveaway in June. If we can get up to 80 channel members, guys, I'm going to do a third giveaway in June. So let's see if we can make that happen. If you're interested in that, our channel members also get early access to all of our videos, and they get their names up on screen just like you've been seeing right here. But we've got a ton of games to cover here on Saturday, guys, so let's go ahead and hop back in. Next up, we are looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Brewers come into this game 30-28 on the season. They've won their last 5 in a row, including game 1 of this series that they won 6-2. Yelich hitting a couple home runs, definitely helpful. The Brewers are going to hand the ball in this game to Chad Patrick, who's 2-4 on the year, a 2.97 ERA. He hasn't been getting tons of run support, but he's been looking pretty decent out there. He hasn't been going deep into games, but his last time out, 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, and it was a 3-2 win there for Milwaukee. So we'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. Obviously not the easiest team to face, and this young guy's done some good stuff this year, though. I'll give him a little bit of credit. The Brewers bullpen, though, not getting a lot of credit, guys. A 4.51 bullpen ERA. They've been pretty clearly in the bottom third of the majors all season long in terms of their bullpen. The offense is coming alive. 6-6, 5-3, and 6 runs out over the last few games. Definitely a step in the right direction. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored. They're 28th in slugging percentage and 24th in batting average, though, so I'm not really ready to start overreacting to what this offense is doing. So let's see what they get up to here after against the Phillies, who have now lost 2 in a row. They're 36-21 on the season, handing the ball in this game to Jesus Luzardo, who's been very good. 5-0 on the year, a 2.15 ERA. His last start was against the Athletics, and it wasn't his best outing. 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. He did strike out 10, and he's actually struck out 10 in each of his last 2 games, but those 3 earned runs he gave up are the worst he's looked in his last 5 outings, and it's the only game the Phillies have lost out of his last 5. So he's been pretty dang good. Now, the problem has been the Phillies bullpen, a 4.58 bullpen ERA. That's bad. And the offense may be slumping a little bit, 2, 3, and 5 runs over their last few games. Now, I'm not too concerned. They're still 7th in the majors in runs scored, 4th in batting average. This is pretty good. Now, Harper's elbow is still very sore. Apparently, not going to be returning quite yet to play. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be out there for this game. So looking at the numbers, the Brewers are plus 158. The Phillies are minus 190. We've got totals showing out there of 8.5 or 8. Milwaukee 11 and 18 on the road, 15, 12 and 2 to the under on the road. The Phillies are 19 and 9 at home, 15 and 13 to the over at home. I think this is a pretty good spot to back the Phillies. Now, minus 190 is a little bit expensive. You can maybe talk me into taking them at minus 1.5 with Luzardo on the mound, but it does seem like their offense is missing Harper a little bit more than I would have guessed. But regardless, guys, I think the Phillies here in some fashion is where you want to be. Next on the dock, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Cardinals actually got slammed in game 1 there at the Rangers, guys, losing 11-1. We'll see what they can do in this game, handing the ball to Sonny Gray, who's 5-1 this year, a 4.06 ERA. His last start was against the Diamondbacks, and while he battled through 6 innings, it wasn't pretty. 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 5 and walked 0, and it was a 4-3 win for the Cardinals. And it's worth mentioning, guys, the last 4 times Sonny Gray has started, the Cardinals have won. Now, one of those games he got shelled by the Phillies, but I mean, overall, he's looked pretty good. So I'm going to give Sonny Gray some credit here. The Cardinals' bullpen's been getting much better over the course of the year, down to a 3.75 bullpen ERA, and the offense has, generally speaking, carried this team. I know they only came up with 1 run in their last game, but they were still 8th in the majors in runs scored, 2nd in batting average, 5th in on-base percentage. The Cardinals are easily a top 10 offense, maybe a top 5 offense, which is not something I saw coming. So looking at their opponent in this game, the Texas Rangers, they come into this one, they've been alternating wins and losses for a bit. They're only 28 and 30 on the season. They're handing the ball here to Patrick Corbin, who's 3-3 this year, a 3.75 ERA. His last 3 starts have looked fairly similar. He's given up 3 earned runs in each. Those are starts against the White Sox, Yankees, and Rockies. 2 of those games ended as wins for the Rangers, so that's a good step in the right direction, but we'll see what he can do here against the Cardinals. Those numbers he's been putting up recently don't exactly fill me with optimism. The Rangers bullpen has been fine, but not great. Maybe steps in the right direction, I suppose. A 3.86 bullpen ERA, though, not something that I think you can, just chalk up as you hand them a win, they're going to win the game. I hand you the lead, they're going to hand you a win. That's not always going to happen. Now, the offense coming off an 11-run game, I'm sure feels great, but over the course of the year, this has been one of the worst offenses in Major League Baseball this season. I mean, Seager missing a bunch of time. They're 28th in runs scored, 29th in batting average, and last in the majors in on-base percentage. So looking at the numbers here, the Cardinals are minus 140. The Rangers are plus 120. We've got a total of 8. The Cardinals are 13 and 16 on the road, 15, 13, 1 to the over on the road. The Rangers are 18 and 12 at home, and 24 and 6 to the under at home. That's an MLB best mark to the under at home. With these 2 pitchers on the mound, I'm not going to be taking the under here, but I'll definitely take the St. Louis Cardinals in a bounce back with Sonny Gray on the mound. I think he's going to have a pretty easy time out there against this Rangers offense. The Cardinals bullpen's looking better. I think the Cardinals can find a way to put up 3 to 4 runs against Patrick Corbin, and that is very likely going to be all they need. Next up, guys, we've got the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Angels come into this game fresh off a 4-1 win in Game 1 of this series. They're handing the ball here to Kyle Hendricks, who's 2-6 this year, a 5.23 ERA. His last start, he got knocked around a bit by the Marlins. Start for that got shelled by the Athletics. It has not been smooth sailing. Every once in a while, this dude just mixes in a start where you're like, holy crap, is this like a Cy Young Award winner? No, it's Kyle Hendricks, and his back must be feeling good that day. So we'll see what we get out of him here. Not expecting miracles. The Angels bullpen, still the worst in the majors, tied for last with the Athletics with a 6.11 ERA. As a team, their offense has not been much to write home about this year. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored, 27th in batting average. They put up some pretty good slugging percentage numbers, but not a team I'm super scared of at the plate. They scored 4-0, 2-1-0, and 2 runs over their last few games. This is a bad offense. So we'll see if they can come with any runs against the Guardians, who have been slipping. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. They're hitting the ball in this game to Slade Ciccone, who's 1-1 this year, a 3.27 ERA. His first start of the year was terrible. Well, not terrible, but not very good at Cincinnati. Second start, he was lights out at Detroit. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run allowed in a 3-1 win there for the Guardians. So very good stuff from Ciccone in that second game. Now, the Cleveland bullpen's been mediocre, a 4.07 bullpen ERA, a far cry from what we were seeing from this team last season. We'll see if that, comes back to bite them at some point. Now, the offense it's been a big part of their struggles, I'm not going to lie. Jose Ramirez is batting .319. That's great, but they're still only 22nd in the majors in runs scored, 22nd in slugging percentage. This is looking like a bottom third of the majors kind of offense, and the Guardians are not good enough out there with their pitching staff to make that work. So look at the numbers here. We've got the Angels at plus 154, the Guardians at minus 185. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Angels 15-15 on the road, 18-12 to the over on the road. Cleveland 15-10 at home, 13-11-1 to the under at home. We're not going to get too complicated with this one, guys. We're fading the Angels and Kyle Hendricks on the road. Give me Slate Ciccone to have another good start, and the Guardians to end up with a comfortable win. Rapid fire through these games. We're looking at the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Red Sox come into this game 28-31 on the year. They did win game 1 of this series 5-1. They're hitting the ball in this game to Walker Buehler, who's 4-2 on the year, a 3.95 ERA. His last start, he was against the Orioles, and he was fine. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, but not good enough to help his team get the win. They eventually lose that game 5-1. We'll see what he can do against Atlanta. I'm not expecting him to have too much trouble, but we'll see. He's been a little bit inconsistent this year. The Boston bullpen has been pretty decent. I mean, not great. A 3.68 bullpen ERA while it is in the top half of the majors. Not looking like a top 10 bullpen or anything like that. So looking at the offense for the Red Sox, that's where the problems have started to creep in and creep in pretty aggressively. They did score 5 runs over each of their last 2 games, but before that, 1, 2, 1, 1, and 6. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, they got to get healthy. That's a big problem. They're still 6th in the majors in runs scored and 10th in batting average. So maybe they're going to be okay. We'll have to wait and see what they get up to here in Game 2 against the Atlanta Braves, who come into this one obviously fresh off that 5-1 loss. They're hitting the ball in this game to Spencer Schwellenbach. He's 3-4 on the season, a 3.42 ERA. This young 24-year-old's done some very good stuff this year. He's had a few bumps in the road, like his last start. It was a 7-inning start against the Padres, so not terrible, but 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them were earned, and struck out 11. He can be a lot better than he looked. And the last time he faced Boston, he was mediocre, I guess. 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs allowed in a 10-4 win for Atlanta. So we'll see which version of Schwellenbach we get in this game. The Atlanta bullpen's been decent, but not dominant this year. The offense has been kind of a problem, I'm going to be honest, guys. They're 19th in the majors in runs scored. They're 18th in the majors in slugging percentage. Smith-Shawver going down doesn't help anybody. Obviously, that's a pitching staff issue, but still, I don't know. I don't have a ton of great stuff to say about this team at the plate, if I'm being honest. So looking at the numbers here, the Red Sox are plus 140. The Braves are minus 165. We've got a total of 8.5. Boston 11-17 on the road, 15-13 to the over on the road. Atlanta 16-9 at home, 15-7-3 to the under at home. This is a bit of a rough spot. I'm going to lean slightly towards the Braves at home. I don't love what I'm seeing from Walker Buehler recently, but I don't love what I'm seeing from Schwellenbach either. So this game, pretty much a stay away spot. Next up, guys, we've got pretty much the most lopsided looking game on the slate. We've got the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Rockies come into this game fresh off a 4-2 loss there in Game 1 of this series. They're 9-48 on the season, hitting the ball to Antonio Senzatella, who's 1-9 this year, a 6.50 ERA. His last start was against the Yankees, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs allowed. The Rockies are 0-5 over his last 5 starts, and it mostly hasn't been very pretty. He hasn't faced a team as good as the Mets since back when he faced, I guess he just faced the Yankees, so I guess that's a good example, but he got shelled and they lost. So, yeah, not a lot of good things to say about him, not a lot of good things to say about the bullpen. I guess it's not as bad as last year, if that's a positive. The offense is probably the worst offense in the majors, last in runs scored, last in batting average, and second to last in on-base percentage. So it's pretty much a dumpster fire for the Rockies. I'm sure you all already know that. Now, they're taking on a New York Mets team that has to be a little bit concerned with what they're seeing from Juan Soto, but overall, I mean, they have won 5 out of their last 6 games, and they're 35-22 on the season, so I don't think it's time to press the panic button. They're hitting the ball in this game to Kodai Senga, who's been great this season. Very, very good. 5-3, a 1.46 ERA. Dominant stuff there. His last start was against the Dodgers, a pretty potent offensive team. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, only a single earned run, and we eventually saw the Mets win that game 3-1. So very impressive stuff. The bullpen for the Mets has been among the league leaders all season long, and the offense, well, it hasn't been quite as good as we would have guessed, is still in the top half of the majors, and once Soto figures stuff out, I think they're going to be a very, very dangerous team at the plate. So Looking at the numbers for this game, guys, they're pretty crazy. The Rockies are plus 320. The Mets are minus 400. We've got a total of 8 out there. Colorado is 3-25 on the road. That's an MLB worst mark on the road. They are 19-8-1 to the under on the road. That's an MLB best to the under on the road. The Mets are 21-7 at home. That's an MLB best at home. They are 16-10-2 to the under at home. Obviously, guys, we're not going to be taking the Mets at minus 400. A 4-1 favorite in a baseball game is kind of crazy, but I obviously see why the odds makers would do that. I mean, look at how bad this freaking Rockies team has been. Now, if we look at the Mets at minus 2.5 or minus 1.5, you take a minus 1.5, you get them at minus 170. I think that's probably the way we're going to lean in this one. Senga is going to shut this team down, and obviously Senzatello's looked terrible. So giving the Mets here at minus 1.5 at minus 170, I think this could actually end up being in the pinned comment. Next on the dock, we've got the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Giants come into this game 32-25 on the year. They won 2-0 in game 1 of this series, though. They're hitting the ball here to Robbie Ray, who's 7-0 to start his year, a 2.56 ERA. Has he been good? Yes. Has he been dominant enough to deserve to be 7-0? Maybe that's a little bit up in the air. Now, his last start was very good against the Nationals, guys. It was at Washington, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed, struck out 7 and walked 0 in a 3-2 win there for the Giants. So very, very good stuff. We'll see what he looks like here against the Marlins. Not a team that he's faced this season, but I think we can feel pretty confident in Robbie Ray. Now, the San Francisco bullpen we can feel even more confident in. Actually, the best bullpen in all of Major League Baseball, a 2.43 bullpen ERA. The offense is where the problems start to crop up. 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, and 0 runs over their last few games. Nothing to write home about. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored, but 25th in batting average, 24th in slugging percentage, and 21st in on-base percentage. So not a team you can trust to put up a lot of runs. They're taking the Miami Marlins, who are 22-33 on the year. They've lost 3 out of 4. They're hitting the ball here to Edward Cabrera, who's 1-1 this season, a 4.73 ERA. His last start was against the Angels, and he was dominant. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, no runs allowed, walked 2. Very, very nice. He's been rounding into form recently. Over his last 4 starts, he hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs, and that was against the Cubs. In a game we saw the Marlins win. The Marlins are actually 3-0 over his last 3 starts. Something to at least keep in the back of our mind. Now, one problem here for the Marlins is their bullpen. Bottom 6 in the majors, a 4.71 bullpen ERA. Not exactly going to get the job done there. And the offense has not been great. 19th in the majors in runs scored, 17th in slugging percentage. They've scored, 0, 10, 6, 3, and 3 runs over their last few games. So maybe a little bit better recently, but we'll see if they can get up to here against Robbie Ray. Not expecting miracles. So looking at the numbers here, the Giants are minus 170. The Marlins are plus 140. We've got a total of 8. San Francisco is 14-16 on the road, 16-13-1 to the over on the road. Miami is 13-15 at home, 16-12 to the over at home. I'm not taking over 8 in this game. If anything, I would shade a bit towards the under. I'll also take the Giants at minus 170. They got Robbie Ray on the mound. I'm not going to be fading that guy anytime soon, so give me a little lean there towards San Francisco. Next up, guys, from the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Tigers come into this game 38-20 on the season. They won their last 5 in a row, including a 7-5 win in their last game. They're taking down the Royals. They're hitting the ball in this game to Tariq Skubal, so happy Skubal Day to all those who celebrate, guys. He's 5-2 this season, a 2.49 ERA. He's fresh off of an insane complete game start there against the Guardians. He went 9 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, walked 0, and struck out a staggering 13 batters. It's a little bit concerning to see him make this long of a start, though. The last time he went 7 or more innings, the start after that, he got shelled by the Red Sox. Now, we did see the Tigers eventually win that game. They're 5-0 over his last 5, but that does make me a little bit worried here about Skubal. Maybe it'll be fine, but it's something to keep an eye on for sure. The bullpen for Detroit has been very good this year. What are they, 7th, 6th, something like that in the majors, a 3.28 bullpen ERA. And the offense has definitely taken some steps forward, 7, 4, 3, 3, and 5 runs over their last few games, but 4th in the majors in runs scored, 11th in the majors in batting average, and 8th in on-base percentage. So liking, generally speaking here, what we're seeing from the Tigers as they go on the road to take on the Royals, who have been floundering. They're down to 30-28 this season. They're hitting the ball in this game to Michael Wacha, who's 3-4 on the year, a 3.21 ERA. His last start, he got knocked around at Minnesota. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, including a couple home runs. We'll see if he can bounce back a little bit. He had been throwing the ball pretty well, but still a little bit of a tendency to give up some hits and then have to work out of trouble. So we'll see how that goes for him. I don't believe he has faced Detroit this year once, and it went okay. 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. Skubal, I'm pretty confident, has faced the Royals also this year. Yeah, a pretty decent start. Oh, he's already faced Walker once this year, and that was a game Detroit eventually lost in extra innings. So we'll see what we get in this game. The Royals bullpen's obviously been pretty decent this year as well. The offense has been the problem, though. It's been terrible. 27th in runs scored and 25th in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers here, the Tigers are minus 178. The Royals are plus 150. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. Detroit is 16-12 on the road, 18-10 to the over on the road. Kansas City is 18-11 at home and 18-11 to the under at home. Oh, this doesn't feel good. You guys probably aren't going to love this. Don't feel obligated to put this in any bets or anything like that, but I think you might want to look at the Royals here at plus 150. Skubal's coming off a 9-inning start. That's not something that he does ever. I don't think we're going to see his best stuff in this game. It's just something I like to fade. Dudes coming off of extended starts, usually a little bit not so sharp in their next outing. The Royals are due for a win a little bit. Walker's in for a bounce back. He's already had a pretty good start against the Tigers this season. I think the Royals could edge out a win here. And at plus 150, that's a very appealing price. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. The Rays come into this game fresh off that 2-1 loss in Game 2 of this series. So if you enjoyed cashing that bet there on the Houston Astros, guys, slam that like button and let me know down there in the comments. The Rays come into this game 29-8 on the season. They're handing the ball to Zach Littell. My twin brother is 4-5 this season, a 3.97 ERA. His last start was very good against the Twins. 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a single earned run allowed. A win there for the Tampa Bay Rays, who are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. Now, he just faced Houston back on the 20th. That was a home game. This is going to be a road game. He was okay. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and a 3-2 win there for Tampa Bay. So definitely something to keep an eye on. The Rays bullpen's been very good. 6th best in the majors, a 3.26 bullpen ERA. The offense has shown some flashes of awakening recently. I mean, 1, 13, 5, 2, 7, and 13 runs over their last few. Swinging some pretty hot bats. They're up to average in the MLB, so things in terms of runs scored, so things are starting to turn around for this team at the plate. So we'll see what they get up to here against the Astros, who have been playing great. They're 31-26 this season, handing the ball to Colton Gordon, who is hasn't figured out a result. He's sporting a 5.52 ERA. He's made 3 starts this year. He's given up 3 earned runs in each one of those starts. Starts against Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Kansas City. Against Tampa Bay back on the 19th, he went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, gave up a home run, walked 0, and struck out 7. And a 4-3 win there for these Houston Astros. So we'll see what we get from him in this one. Obviously, the bullpen for Houston's been very good, so that's helpful. The offense has been where the problems are, but they've come around a little bit here recently too. 17th in the majors in runs scored, 12th in on-base percentage, 6th in batting average. So I mean, I don't hate what I'm seeing right now from this Houston Astros offense. So looking at the numbers, the Rays are plus 100. The Astros are minus 120. We've got a total of 8.5. Tampa Bay is 11-8 on the road, 11-8 to the under on the road. Houston is 20-11 at home, 17-13-1 to the under at home. First up, I think this is an excellent spot to look at under 8.5. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense in this game. I like what both starters have been doing, so definitely give me a good hard look at that under. I also like both bullpens, so that helps as well. But in terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Tampa Bay Rays and my twin brother, Zach Littell. Maybe it's the family ties that are making me lean this way. So I would say my favorite side in this game is definitely that under 8.5. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Twins and Mariners are actually playing right now. Seattle up 4-2 in the end of the 6th inning. So we'll see how that game finishes up. Buxton coming back, maybe a little bit of help there for the Twins. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Bailey Ober. He's 4-1 this season, a 3.41 ERA. His last couple of starts have been very good. He did give up 7 hits over 6 2/3 against Kansas City, but only a single run. Against Cleveland, gave up 1 run. He's given up only 1 run in 4 out of his last 5 starts. The only one where he gave a few more was against Baltimore, and that was still a win. The Twins are 4-1 over his last 5 outings. So very good stuff there. We'll see what he can do against Seattle. Not a team he's faced yet this year. The bullpen for the Twins has been excellent this season, a 3.18 bullpen ERA. And the offense, guys, that's kind of where the issues are. They're 24th in runs scored, 24th in on-base percentage. In their current game, only a couple runs scored all the way into the 7th. So definitely work to be done to improve this Minnesota offense. So we'll see what they get up to here against the Mariners, who come into this game 30-25 on the season. Not having the best time. They're still in, well, they're tied for first with Houston. They're atop the AL West. They're giving the ball to Bryce Miller in this game, who's 2-4 this season, a 5.22 ERA. He's fresh off of getting shelled in back-to-back starts, guys. Got knocked around aggressively by the Athletics and then got obliterated by Toronto. So we'll see if he can get back on track here going up against the Twins. I'm not going to say that feels like a huge ask, but it feels like a decent-sized ask for Bryce Miller, who has not looked like himself. The Seattle bullpen has been decent, but maybe not dominant this year, and the offense, while it has drastically improved, is struggling a bit recently. They're down to 20th in the majors in batting average, 10th in on-base percentage. They've scored, I guess they've scored 4 runs in their current game, but 4, 3, and 0 over their last few. So definitely room to improve. The odds makers have this listed as a coin flip. Both teams are listed at -110. We've got a total of 7 in this game. Minnesota 12-17 on the road, 17-9-3 to the under on the road. Seattle 14-13 at home, 16-9-2 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game. Maybe lean slightly towards the over, but I think this is an excellent spot to take the Minnesota Twins. Bailey Ober's been a much better starter this season than Bryce Miller has, and the bullpens are pretty much a wash. And I would say the Twins' offense is pretty much on par with what the Mariners are doing right now, so definitely give me a look at the Twins. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Yankees come into this game, well, they're playing right now in game 1 of the series against the Dodgers. They're up 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning, so things are going relatively well. They'll hand the ball in this game to Will Warren, who's 3-2, a 4.09 ERA on the year. His last start was against Colorado, and he was fine, but not great, so that's a little bit concerning, but he was coming off of a slightly extended 10-strikeout outing there against the Rangers. Now, going up against a team like the Dodgers can be a little bit different than anything else you're going to face this year, so not a lot of great comparisons to be drawn there, and this guy's 25 years old. That Dodgers lineup's got to be a little bit intimidating to face. The Yankees' bullpen's been excellent, 5th best in the majors, no problem there. The offense has been sputtering a little bit. They've put up 5 runs in their current game, so maybe they're back on track. But, a 1-0 win against the Angels, a 3-2 win against the Angels, this team can be better than that. Chisholm kind of, getting closer and closer to coming back. Sounds like he's going to start playing third when he comes back. I think that'll be fine. The Yankees are 3rd in the majors with runs scored, 1st in on-base percentage. This is one of the scariest offenses in the majors. So we'll see what they get up to here against the Dodgers in game 2. The Dodgers having a decent season, but a lot of injuries. They'll hand the ball in this game to Landon Knack, who's 2-2 this season, a 5.22 ERA. His last start was against the Mets. They're in New York, and he was fine. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs allowed, but only 1 of them was earned. Struck out 5 and walked 0. The Dodgers are 0-3 over his last 3 starts, so that's something to keep in mind. But he's, I don't know. He hasn't even really been that great in those starts. So we'll see what version of Knack we get here. We'll see what version of the Dodgers bullpen we get. It's been pretty bad. A 4.06 bullpen ERA. Not what you would have been ordering up there if you were the Dodgers ownership. Oh, there we go. Some good news, guys. It looks like we are cashing our lock of the day there on the Padres. They get a very scary 3-2 win there over the Pirates. So we'll definitely take that one. Now, looking at the numbers for our current game, the Yankees are +105. The Dodgers are -125. We've got a total of 9.5. The Yankees are 17-11 on the road. 15-11 2 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 19-8 at home, 17-10 to the over at home. This is a tough spot. I'm going to lean just slightly towards these Dodgers at home at -125, but I'm not necessarily in love with it. Will Warren's been fine recently. Now, Landon Knack's been fine as well, so maybe you could even talk me into under 9.5, but not a game, despite it being a very exciting one to watch, where I'm showing tons of value. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we are looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Pirates come into this game fresh off a loss there in game 1 of this series. A close one. They made it competitive, but eventually falling 3-2 there. Now, the Pirates are going to hand the ball in this game to Bailey Falter. He's 3-3 this year, a 3.47 ERA. Obviously, the Pirates not having a great time, but Falter's been very good this year. His last start was against the Brewers, 5-2 thirds innings, 4 hits, 3 runs allowed, 2 of them were earned. Not the best control in that game, but the game before he dominated the Reds, so we'll see what he looks like after a normal length start. Once again, a guy struggling after a long start. So we'll see what Falter looks like, see if that Pirates bullpen can figure itself out. A 4.42 bullpen ERA, definitely not what they were aiming for. Offensively, they've had some nice games recently, but over the course of the year, they're still 29th in runs scored, 26th in batting average, and last in the majors in slugging percentage. When Andrew McCutchen at like 105 years old is leading your team in batting average, you know you got some problems. So we'll see what they can do here against the Padres. You have to be pretty happy to start the series off with a win. San Diego is 31-23 on the year, hitting the ball to Dylan Cease, who's been part of the problem. He's 1-3 this season, a 4.58 ERA. His last start was at Atlanta. He went 5 innings, he had 6 hits and 3 earned runs. He's given up 3 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. The Padres are 3-2 over his last 5. The last time he faced the Pirates, though, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and a 9-4 win there at Pittsburgh. So we'll see if he can do a little bit better this time around. The bullpen for San Diego has been very good this season overall. A 3.39 bullpen ERA is even a little bit of a dip from what we've been seeing from them recently. The offense is where the problems have been coming from recently. Maybe kind of all over the place, too. They did have an 8-run game where they lost. So we'll see what they get up to in this one. They're still 17th in the majors in runs scored and 8th in batting average despite the struggles here recently. So looking at the numbers, the Pirates are plus 180. The Padres are minus 220. We've got a total of 7.5. Pittsburgh's 8-20 on the road, 17-9-2 to the under on the road. San Diego 18-9 at home, 16-10-1 to the under at home. With these two teams out there, I mean, taking under 7.5 seems like a bit of a reach, so I'm probably not going to do that. But given the trends, I guess I would understand anybody that wanted to. In terms of a side, I just don't think the Pirates are really good enough to beat the Padres. I don't love Bailey Falter. I don't love Dylan Cease, so this one's not going in the pinned comment, but a little lean towards the Padres. In our last MLB game, before we hop over and look at our Eastern Conference Finals showdown, we've got the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Nationals and Diamondbacks are actually playing right now with Washington leading 8-6 in the top of the 7th inning. The Nationals are going to hand the ball here to Michael Soroka, who's 1-3 this season, a 5.61 ERA. His last start was against the Giants, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. A very good start, a longer than his average start, so that's something to keep in mind for sure. Going up against the Diamondbacks, also probably going to be the best offense, or no, definitely going to be the best offense he's faced this year. So we'll see what he looks like. Obviously, the Nationals bullpen's been a big problem, a 6.08 bullpen ERA. Kind of a dumpster fire. The bullpen, has really held them back. Now, the offense for the Nationals has not been great. Maybe slightly improving recently. 12th in the majors in runs scored at 19th in batting average, but not necessarily an offense that I can get on board with to be good over the long term. So we'll see what they get after here against the Diamondbacks, who are 27-29 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. It looks like they could very easily lose game 1 here. They're handing the ball in game 2 to Brandon Pfaadt. He's 7-3 this season, a 3.90 ERA. He hasn't been great either. He's given up, 3, 3, and 4 runs over his last 3 games, only one of which was a win there for these Diamondbacks, who are not having a good time this year. So looking at the bullpen for Arizona, it's been a huge problem. Looking at the offense, it's actually been a problem recently. I mean, they scored 1, 6, and 5 runs in their series against the Pirates. That's not what this offense is designed to do. They're still 5th in runs scored in the majors, 4th in slugging percentage, but not swinging the hottest bat. So I'm a little bit, maybe surprised is too strong of a word, but looking at the numbers here, the Nationals are plus 164, the Diamondbacks are minus 195. We've got a total of 9. Washington 13-16 on the road, 15-13-1 to the under on the road. Arizona is 14-15 at home, 15-11-3 to the under at home. This is a tough spot, guys. I'm going to take the Nationals just slightly at plus 164 because I am not on board with what I'm seeing from Arizona right now. I know Pfaadt's been better, so this is a play that's not going anywhere near the pin comment, but neither team has a very good bullpen. This game feels pretty coin flippy to me, if I'm being honest, and if it's a coin flip and I can take the team that's plus 164, I'm going to take the team that's plus 164. Now, guys, hopping over to look at our Eastern Conference Finals game, we've got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers in Game 5. Now, the Knicks came away with the 111-94 win to stave off elimination there in Game 5. So we'll see what happens here in Game 6. But the Knicks, it's a win or go home situation. Now, in that, pretty crazy Game 5 there, we liked what we saw from a lot of the Knicks. Brunson coming out strong, cashing our, first basket of the day lean. That was pretty cool. Josh Hart cashing our double-double pick. A lot of positive stuff there in the player props for Game 5. Now, Brunson having 32 points, Towns 24, a couple other double-digit scores mixed in there, 12 points off the bench for Hart, definitely helping out that second unit. But the Knicks shot only 15 of 22 from the free throw line, 8 of 29 from 3, and still won this game comfortably. They had a nice little edge there on the boards, but it felt like the Pacers were sleepwalking through this game. Now, the Knicks do come into this one fully healthy, so that's a big step in the right direction. The Pacers have to be lamenting that poor effort. I guess they just felt like they have this thing sewn up and they can go back home and take care of business and end this. Now, they better, or they're going to have to go back to Madison Square Garden, and I've got to guess on which way the NBA would like this series to go. They probably don't want an NBA Finals between the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm sure they'd rather have the Knicks mixed in there. The Pacers, Siakam had 15 there in Game 5, but it really felt like a game they were just taking off. I mean, Mathurin had 23 off the bench, but I don't know what the deal was with Halliburton. He only shot the ball 7 times the entire game. Like, it was pretty embarrassing. None of the starters really had a great time except for Siakam being decent, and the bench had to kind of try and take over, but it wasn't great, and that's not really what this bench is designed to do. So we'll see what we get in this one. That was a pretty freaking ugly game 5 there from the Pacers. They come into this game, we're seeing Tony Bradley on the injury list, but Neesmith's not even on there anymore, so sounds like they are pretty much ready to go. So look at the numbers for this game. The Pacers are 4-point favorites at home. We got a total of 219 out there. The Knicks are 25-24 against the spread on the road this season, 24-23-2 to the over on the road. We see the Pacers 21-24-3 against the spread at home. They're 25-23 to the over at home. Guys, I'm definitely taking the Pacers here at -4. I think they just took that game off against the Knicks in Game 5. I think they're going to end things here in Game 6. I just don't think the Knicks have what it takes to hold up here on the road against the Pacers unless the NBA is really stepping in here and kind of, bumping the refs one way or the other. I find it very hard to imagine the Pacers not coming away with a double-digit win in this game. I think it's going to be pretty easy for them. And in terms of the total, I'll lean a bit towards the over, but not a play that I'm particularly in love with. And I'm not sure if either one of these plays are going to end up in the pinned comment, but I do have a couple player props that I think are very good value here. And first up, I like TJ McConnell over 6.5 points. He's had at least 6 points in every game in the series. He's had over this number in 4 out of the 5 games. Playing back at home, he's going to look much better in this game. I fully expect him to be out there getting some buckets. And to get to 7 points, not really a huge ask. I also like OG Anunoby here, under 16.5 points. He smoked us there as our lock of the day to make 6 field goals. He looked completely lost in Game 5. Now he's got to go on the road in a huge pressure spot. I simply don't see him having some kind of great game on the road here in front of a very, very hostile crowd. He's only been over 16.5 points once in this entire series. Why would we suddenly think that's going to happen here? So, yeah, Anunoby's under on points, probably going to make it into the pinned comment. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Some pretty bad news. I probably should have mentioned this earlier in the video, but I'm mentioning it now. There's going to be no video for Sunday. I know you guys are going to hate to miss out on a probably horrendous Sunday of MLB games. Maybe I'll throw something in a community post, so there'll be something up here. You can look at the community post and see what my leans are, but I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do that. I'm going to be traveling with the baby and with the family and seeing family and all kinds of stuff, and just not going to have the setup or the internet to really be able to upload a video. So I apologize for that, but don't worry, we'll be back on Monday, and we haven't had a day off since the baby was born, I don't think we've missed a day of posting a video. So we'll be on that grind, but we're going to miss that Sunday video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on today's slate. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com. There will guaranteed be free picks posted over at stumpthespread.com for Sunday. So definitely get in on that. If you're going to be jonesing for a YouTube video, there won't be one on Sunday, but there will be those free picks at stumpthespread.com, and I will see you guys right back here on Monday, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.